Друзья, всем привет! Канал «Английский простым языком на связи». Меня зовут Никита. Сегодня я наконец-то добрался до одной из самых популярных локаций и мест в городе Москва. Это бизнес-центр, даже назовем это так, бизнес-район Москва-Сити. Я вам скажу честно, я здесь раньше как-то в свое время работал, и сегодня я здесь буду делать опрос также на английском языке. Я здесь похожу по некоторым разным местам, по разным бизнес-центрам, скажем так, у входа, для того, чтобы опросить как можно больше людей. Здесь сейчас прям такая достаточно сильная активность, поэтому мне самому интересно, насколько хорошо люди в Москва-Сити говорят на английском языке. И да, здесь очень сейчас сильный ветер, я даже не ожидал, что он здесь будет такой сильный, я уже даже боюсь, что у меня сейчас камеру будет сносить, поэтому все, беру аппаратуру, камеру и поехали. Hello, excuse me, do you speak English? Can I have just a couple of minutes of your time? I have a YouTube channel, I'm an English teacher, just making video about the English language itself, how to learn. Well, what's your English level, by the way?
I assume my English should be pretty good because I do live in Dubai. I worked for many years in an English company, so hopefully my English is not that bad as it could be.
What's your level, by the way?
I think B2.
B2.
Yes.
Well, I can communicate in English very easy, you know.
Okay, and where are you from?
Professional.
Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
From Colombia.
Yeah.
You're in a hurry?
My English B2 level,
B2 level, but it's great.
intermediate, I think.
What's your level, by the way?
I don't know. Probably intermediate. I don't know.
Intermediate.
Yes.
What's your level, by the way?
Maybe B1 or B2.
Of course, yeah. B1 or B2?
Yeah, I don't know.
Готовы на английском поотвечать? What's your English level, by the way?
Я плохо знаю.
Okay, and what's your level?
B1.
B1.
Yes.
Zero.
My level.
Yep.
Ну, я не знаю, на английском говорится?
Of course, yeah, sure.
Как будет начальный уровень?
You can say elementary, for example.
Yeah, I think that elementary level.
No, you don't have an elementary English
No, that's
level.
true.
Sorry.
What's your level, by the way?
Actually, I never passed any exams. I don't know what my
You
level
never
is.
passed.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
You don't
I'm
know.
not sure.
What's your English level, by the way?
I don't know actually.
My level B2, but I'm just studying right now.
Okay, do you study? You don't work.
Yeah.
You don't work here.
I don't work here.
What's your level, by the way?
No,
What is your English level? Как часто практикуете английский?
очень редко.
What's your English level, by the way?
I don't know the levels. I know there is C1, C2s, B1s. I don't know. I never get through those tests. I kind of watch a lot of YouTube videos, travel a lot, and that's how I know my English.
But yeah.
Well, and do you work here?
No, I don't work here. I'm just traveling to Moscow.
You were
now.
traveling.
I work in Dubai actually.
Okay, you work in Dubai.
Yes.
So when
But
you...
I am originally from Moscow, obviously.
Okay, you are from Russia.
Yes.
No, here I work, yes.
Yeah, here. And
Yes.
what do you do for a living?
What I don't.
What do you do for a living? Like you work in an insurance company, maybe in a bank?
I work in a department in the government of Moscow.
Government of Moscow.
Yes.
What do you do for a living? You work in an insurance company, maybe in a bank?
I do work for different companies. Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you do for a living? What's your job?
After business.
Okay, and what do you do for a living? What's your job?
I'm internal auditor.
Okay, do you like this?
Yes.
Real estate.
Real estate. Do you like this job?
Yes, I like. Well, I'm broker of real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah.
Do you like this job?
Yeah.
So, do you work here, by the way?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? What's your job?
Lawyer.
Lawyer. A lawyer. Do you work
Yes.
here?
Yes, I work here. I
Okay.
use it for my work.
What do you do for a living, by the way?
Asset management.
Asset management. So, what's the company, by the way?
I prefer to keep it
Okay.
low. Yeah.
Actually, I used to work here in this financial industry, you know.
Work and live, yes, I work and live here.
Okay, and what do you do for a living? What's your job?
I'm a musician,
Musician.
yes.
Well, do you work here in this place?
Not really here, but in the northern empire.
What do you do for a living, by the way?
Yeah.
No, what do you do for a living? You work here?
Say other word.
Okay, so вы где работаете?
Yeah. My job is broker in realty. Of realty, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
A real estate?
Yeah, in.
Or a trading? Bonds, stocks,
No. Realty.
financial market?
My job everybody developments.
How often do you practice English? How often? Every single day, maybe every week?
No, 3 days in week.
Do you study at school?
Yes.
Well, what's your age? How old are you?
Certain.
Sorry?
Certain.
Okay, 13. Maybe you, I don't know, maybe you watch some movies or maybe you read some books.
Well, I obviously do watch a lot of movies. It's not that I do it to practice language.
Of
it's
course,
just I
yeah,
do
just
it
for fun, for
fun,
yeah, for spending your time. Okay, and so maybe yeah.
But yeah, well, I'm an exception because I live in Dubai, right?
I learn in school and in university, and I watch some films usually, but not always.
How often do you practice English? Maybe you know.
Every day, I think, with my colleagues. He also speaks English. You can come here.
Oh, let me finish with you.
So my whole environment is English speaking, right?
I practice with my friends. We just speak and I learn English words.
Okay, you learn English words.
Yeah.
How often do you practice your English?
I studied in UK long
You-
time ago.
You used to study
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Well, and did you like that country?
Yeah.
Daily.
Daily. Do you work here?
No, I don't.
You don't. You work, and so
Live in
how?
Moskva-Siti now.
Okay, and how often? I mean, how do you practice this language?
Movies, books, I guess the regular way.
How often do you practice this language in your daily life?
Not often now.
So, how often do you practice this language?
Uh-huh.
Maybe you watch some movies, maybe you read some books or something.
Read some books, yes.
No, I'm just watch some videos on maybe some YouTube channels.
How regularly does it happen? You talking to your friends?
Like 3 times per week at least.
It's amazing, really. It's far better than, I don't know, maybe 99% of people having maybe once or twice a week lessons.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I do practice English at work. I work with contracts and sometimes with our like I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, maybe just, okay, have a nice day, bye. How often do you practice English in your daily life?
I don't practice it at all.
I'll say that it's an everyday thing because every day I listen to some music on language, some YouTube videos, so it's not countable, you know? It's a part of a lifestyle.
How often do you practice English in your daily life?
Every day.
Every day. How often do you practice English in your daily life? Every day, maybe every week? Maybe you watch some movies?
One time in a year.
One time in a year.
Couple times. Maybe a couple times.
Several times maybe.
In your opinion, what is the best way to learn the English language in 2025? Given the fact that right now there are lots of options. We have YouTube, we have tutors, we have some manuals. What is the best way for beginners who want to start?
I think it's a practice with honor of the language. It's
You're-
the best way.
You mean natives?
Natives, yes.
From my perspective of a busy man who, kind of has family, full day job, and you don't really have much time, I think the best way would be to have an application on your iPhone, and ideally you would want to consider like some apps with embedded, artificial intelligence.
Even artificial intelligence.
Yeah, well, what I learned that there are actually many apps now that, they have artificial intelligence that teaches you English, and it provides kind of a more creative and a more live kind of way, way of teaching. And actually, my wife bought one of them and learns, I don't know, Spanish maybe or something else.
Обязательно ли его учить сейчас в 2025 году? С учетом того, что у нас есть искусственный интеллект, переводчики.
Ну, еще и не только поэтому. Есть, конечно, вопросы, стоит ли его учить.
Не нужен, да, английский?
Да не, почему?
Китайский, наверное.
Любой язык, без разницы, развивает.
So what is the best way to learn English in 2025 for everybody?
Oh my gosh.
Like in your opinion, maybe watching some movies, maybe reading some...
To be honest, I was thinking of learning another language. And
in your opinion, what is the best way for beginners to start learning this language? Because right now we have lots of options, millions of options. What is the best way?
I mean, my case, it was like when people, what I would recommend people is that if they want to learn English, they don't have only just to go for a course and just learn a few words. They have to keep in mind they have to talk. When you have to talk, you have to make your world in English. Your cell phone, your computer, your mind, watch videos, practice with people. It's like you have to challenge yourself every day to learn words, phrases, phrasal verbs. And that's my best advice is that in your mind, you will learn to speak and communicate with people. And for that, you have to put effort, discipline, And yeah, that's what pretty much I did. And I learned English by myself. I learned Russian by myself. So
You learn Russian.
I think it's possible. Yeah.
What is the best way to learn this language? Right now we have lots of options. There is YouTube, there are teachers, some textbooks. What is the best way for beginners in 2025?
Do practice with your friends and search such people.
What is the best way to learn English in 2025 in your opinion?
I think that the best way is to go abroad.
Yeah, to go abroad.
Yeah.
Okay, but without going abroad, is it possible to acquire at least B1 without going abroad?
Probably yes, but I didn't try.
What is the best way to learn this language?
Just to communicate to each other.
Just to communicate.
Yes.
And
That's my opinion.
in your opinion, what is the best way to learn for beginners? Because right now we have lots of options.
I
YouTube.
always love face-to-face teachers, tutors, that type of things. Yeah.
Вы даже не представляете, насколько здесь ветрено. Мне просто камеру приходится руками на штативе держать, чтобы ее не сдуло. У меня 2 раза уже чуть камера не упала. Я, честно, ребят, я здесь работал, я часто ходил, но здесь никогда. Я не помню, что было настолько ветрено. Мне как-то сказали, что здесь какая-то роза ветров. Я в этом «Здравствуйте, дерево», но здесь просто жесть. У меня вот штатив просто вот гуляет, меня самого сдувает и... What is the best way to learn this language in 2025 for beginners?
Online teaching. Now it's popular.
Pretty
In Moscow,
popular. So, and what is...
many language, many schools in Moscow. I think more 20 good companies.
What is the best way to learn to acquire B1, B2 level in English in your opinion?
Acquire, I don't...
Acquire, to get, to reach.
To walk every day. Walk.
Также, друзья, если помимо английского слуха, который мы здесь с вами очень-очень интенсивно качаем, вы бы хотели вместе со мной прокачивать также вашу английскую речь, то хочу вам сообщить, что на данный момент я организовываю и собираю разговорные клубы по пятницам и по воскресеньям. Мы с вами собираемся от 4 до 8 человек, практикуем различные темы, интересный словарный запас. Все это мы с вами делаем в обсуждениях, в дискуссиях, в такой очень приятной атмосфере. Поэтому для тех из вас, кто хотел бы прокачивать вашу английскую речь, также учить грамматику, словарный запас, вот, поэтому в описании к этому видео есть вся необходимая информация, переходите, записывайтесь, и я вас уверяю, вам очень и очень понравится. Ну, а мы с вами берем камеру и продолжаем. What's the best way to learn English for beginners in 2025?
I think just to do it every day. You have to watch movies every day in English. If you watch something like TV shows or movies, you have to watch them in English, maybe with subtitles for the beginning. You have to translate songs that you like to listen. You have to, I don't know, look at the reels, memes, whatever. You have to do it every day. I mean, just on your everyday basis, everyday life, you have to do something in English. That's actually my problem. I try to learn German as well, and I have nothing like I don't know German culture. I have no movies in German, so it's kind of hard for me. The only thing that I do is Duolingo.
Well.
But yeah, if you're talking about English, it's much easier because you have a lot of content in English, so you can use any.
What is the best way to learn this language for beginners in 2025?
I think it's, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It's
Okay, have a nice day, bye-bye.
Bye.
What is the best way to learn English in 2025 for beginners?
The best way, I think, in my opinion, the best way you should speak with native speaker. Yeah, I think that's the best way that you can improve your level, language level, yeah, in general.
Best way to learn a language is just to dive into the places where people speak that language. So just travel to English-speaking countries, and like when you throw a baby to water that cannot swim, like
Yeah, it's like the same, right?
yeah, yes, like the same.
Well, and what is the best way to learn this language for everybody? What would you recommend?
Recommend?
Yeah, your recommendation, your advice. What should I do to learn this language? Ладно, давайте не будем мучить. Что порекомендуешь учить, как вот учить для начинающих?
Английский,
Нет, а как его начать учить?
Ну, с репетитором.
А возможно его выучить без того, чтобы ехать за границу, то есть здесь, в России?
Да, конечно.
What is the best way, in your opinion, for beginners to learn this language? The best way.
First, to need motivation. If you
Good.
don't have motivation, you will be lazy, and like if you don't want it, it will not happen.
Is it possible to learn this language without going abroad here in Russia? At least maybe acquire B1, B2 level without...
Siberia talking.
Okay, but is it possible to learn this language to acquire at least B1 level without going abroad, without having any conversation with native speakers?
I think yes, if we speak with natives, we know it very well, I think, in my opinion. But also you should study yourself.
Okay, you should
By
study
yourself.
yourself. By the way, since you've just mentioned AI and other artificial intelligence features, will AI and other artificial intelligence things be able to replace teachers and this industry itself?
I don't think so. I think if there is no teachers, that I mean, at some point it helps, but the teacher is the guidance of the teacher is personal. You know, it's personalized approach that I think it will be needed. But definitely you can learn English by ChatGPT. You know, structuring a course for yourself. But if you have teacher, I think it will be much better. Like much.
Yeah, much
when,
better.
when someone is coaching you. Yeah.
Вот такое есть только в Москве у нас. Такого больше нигде нет. For example, without talking to natives and without being abroad, will it be possible for me to acquire B1, B2 level, you know, here in Russia?
In Russia.
Yeah.
You want to learn Russian, maybe?
I want to learn the English language here in Russia. Will it be possible for me without going abroad and without talking to natives?
That would be hard, actually. That's very hard. Because, for example, me, I learning this language since my kindergarten, and I actually have a big problem with that, actually.
What is the biggest mistake which people make when it comes to learning this language?
Yeah, many people don't practice. Practice is very neat for everybody.
They stop in some way. They stop to learn English. I don't know really why. Maybe because they don't have a strong goal, aim. They don't have aim. They don't understand why why they need this.
Yeah, they have no idea, you know, what they need this for,
Yeah.
right? Какая самая серьезная ошибка, которую люди допускают при изучении английского?
Слова не учат.
Слова не учат. А по поводу разговора, люди многие боятся говорить.
Нужно не бояться.
The last one, so what is the biggest mistake which people make? Like the biggest, the most serious mistake? Maybe when it comes to speaking or maybe when it comes to not learning grammar?
I think the worst mistake people can do is that when they think everything in their language and they wanted to put it in the other language. It's
So
like
it means that you don't need to use Russian subtitles or something. You don't need to translate from your mother tongue, right?
I mean, like, of course, you can get help when you watch a movie with subtitles, but you need to understand that this is a completely different language. You don't have to translate literally things. You know, you have to put your mindset has to be focused on the language structure and, you know, all of the details from the language.
And what is the biggest mistake when it comes to practicing, when it comes to starting to learn this language?
I mean, the biggest mistake is to avoid mistakes, because you gotta do a lot of mistakes, and all the learning is just like collective of mistakes. So do them, and by doing them, that means that you are evolving, and like evolution is there. Evolution is just by passing your mistakes.
Well, it means that making mistakes is a strong indicator of you making some progress.
Yes.
Okay. About mistake, what is the biggest one?
I
The most serious one?
I need to think. I don't know.
So maybe I'm going to give you a hint. What about speaking? Because right now there are lots of people who learn this language, but they haven't started speaking yet.
Yes. You should to speak, and you should to speak with another people. But if he not a native, with your friends that also study with you and don't know English, you should to speak with him. Or her or your friends.
And the last one maybe, what is the biggest mistake which people make when it comes to learning this language? The most serious mistake?
In teaching English?
Yeah, no, in learning.
learning.
Yeah, in learning, of course. In studying or in learning, yeah.
I think the most root mistake is do not try.
Okay, don't try it.
You can do mistakes.
Okay,
You
should
can
practice,
you need do mistakes.
Yeah.
Like me now, because I don't have a practice. But you need to try. You need to speak, and no matter like you do the mistakes, you need to speak.
The biggest mistake, not to speak. Not to train.
Trying to copy the accent, really trying to fit in within the different cultures, and that just stands in the way of them speaking and expressing themselves well.
Is this a mistake when you try to copy accent?
Yeah.
It's a mistake.
Just be authentically yourself. Don't think about it.
Okay.
Think about the message you're trying to say and deliver. rather than how it's going to look like, you know, the appearance of it, how it's going to sound.
Какая самая большая ошибка в изучении английского языка?
Grammatics.
Не учат грамматику.
I think that we need to speak English with native English speaker, not in other country. No.
Of course, yeah, sure. Okay.
The biggest mistake?
Yeah, the biggest mistake, yeah.
Well, I think that most people think that it's very easy to learn English without a teacher, and I think that if you want to learn English very well, you should to find your teacher, that you can have a connection with him, and of course practice and practice.
What is the biggest mistake which people make when it comes to practicing and learning this language? The biggest mistake?
I think when they stop doing it. So you have to, you just have to do it every day, like even a little bit. If you stop, then you will forget everything. I mean, it's like a sport. If you do sport every day, it will be easier and easier and easier. But if you stop doing it, well, it's gonna get hard.
The most serious mistake.
Yeah, I understand that.
Maybe they don't speak, for example, because I know that there are lots of people learning grammar, reading books, watching movies, but they do not speak.
Maybe. Yeah, I can agree with you, actually, totally agree. Because they have, namely, knowledge, but they just don't practice it.
You think that we should speak, or I should speak with native speakers? I mean, if, let's say, for beginners, with native speakers from other countries.
From other countries, you say, but
Indonesia.
Is it important to learn grammar?
It will not help to learn grammar if you're just speaking, but I think you need to search in the internet, videos, books, and if you have money or maybe you have a friend who knows English.
Who knows English, yeah.
To practice and to take a lessons.
Is learning grammar essential for reaching some goal, or at least B1? Learning grammar, is it necessary?
Yeah, it is.
Was it difficult for you to understand, to comprehend natives?
In the UK?
Yeah.
Dialect?
Dialect is different.
It's like a ah.
Yeah.
So, for example, I could not understand day off. Yeah.
Okay, day off.
The girl was saying about when she has a day off.
Day off.
And
like,
she's like, I have a day off.
I have a day off.
And I was like, what? 10 times I asked, but it's okay.
Is learning English grammar important?
Oh, definitely, yes. It's important if you want to be a professional person who is writing emails, of course, ChatGPT and AI helps, but sometimes you find in a situation that you have to have really good, spelling and reading and writing English.
I'm wondering about the English language in Dubai. Are there lots of people there speaking English in Dubai?
I think everyone speaks English.
Everyone speaks English in Dubai.
Yeah, everyone. Like you have English schools. If you go anywhere, you speak English.
Okay.
I mean, it's actually would be a challenge to find someone speaking Arabic there.
Really? Yeah.
So you will struggle to find someone. So my kids go to an English school, like English school, right? So with native speakers as teachers, etc., etc. So like Dubai is an English-speaking city. It's like Singapore and
like Singapore.
So English is the most common language in Dubai, obviously.
Your opinion, is this the best place to make money in Moscow?
It's possible. If you study hard and work hard, yes, it's possible.
Well, so is it always windy, like this here?
Here, yes, in Moskva-City.
А сколько в школе уроков английского?
Именно в неделю?
Да.
Ну, у меня 3.
3. Этого хватает? Ты их не прогуливаешь?
Нет, у меня я с репетитором еще занимаюсь.
Еще дополнительно, то есть получается много нагрузки. А потому что в школе плохая программа или почему репетитор нужен?
Ну, в школе там учитель, он для всех объясняет, а с репетитором именно тебе одному все подсказывает и так далее.
Have you ever been to an English-speaking country before? America, Canada, maybe some European countries, Italy, France, in your life?
I've been in the UK.
Okay, you've been to UK. Did you like that place?
Not my vibe, but it's good.
Have you ever been to an English-speaking country before? Canada, America?
No, never.
Never.
No, I've been to English-speaking countries in general by traveling and working.
Have you ever been to an English-speaking country before? America, Canada? Have you ever traveled abroad?
Yeah, of course. Traveled all of Europe and USA also.
America, Canada, never. Okay. Are you still learning German?
Yeah, I'm trying, doing my best.
Okay. Do you like this place, by the way?
This place?
Yeah, this place. Yeah, I mean this place in particular because it's a pretty crowded place, hectic place. There are lots of people here. They're just in a hurry.
You mean Moscow-City?
Moscow-City, this location, yeah.
Not often I'm here, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yes, it's a nice place.
Yes, but you're not an English speaker.
Of course, I'm from Russia. Yeah, I'm an English teacher. Yeah, of course, it's not my native language, of course. When did you start practicing this language, or maybe when
When
did
I
you?
was 4 years old, my parents sent me to an English school.
How to learn this language? If you don't mind, Russian. Вы говорите по-английски? Вы не говорите по-английски? Ну тогда вам хорошего дня. Can I have just a couple of minutes of your time, if you don't mind?
Пару минут
Да.
вашего времени.
Да.
Я понимаю.
Ну тогда ладно. Все, вам хорошего. Ответить на вопросы на английском, тогда вам хорошего дня, пока-пока. So, and I'm a little bit wondering, during your workday, 8 hours workday, let's say you practiced English through the whole time, through the whole, your shift, 8 hours?
No.
Like conversation, maybe some emails,
I think 2-3 hours per day, but I don't know. I never counted how many minutes I have a conversation in English, but I also have friends with whom I'm texting.
I'm really amazed, truly amazed, because and you don't have any tutors, any courses.
No, I don't know.
This is the only place where you apply your English.
Only
work.
work. Yeah, work and my everyday life, like when I speak with my friends, like I
Okay.
said, because
How-
I have friends from all over the world.
But however, where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Ah.
I'm speaking the Russian language too, of course.
Okay.
Because I'm an English teacher and I'm making this video, pretty interesting video in English. I'm just surveying people, asking them some questions. Couldn't agree more. Thank you very much for participating. Have a great
appreciate
evening.
it.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day too. Bye. Thank you very much for participating in this interview.
Pakistan
Bye bye.
is an English-speaking country.
No, probably it is not considered to be an English-speaking country. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Вам хорошего дня, раз не буду вас задерживать. Вы, наверное, работаете здесь? Да. Да, все. Пока. Всего вам хорошего дня. So, thank you very much for participating in this short interview. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Все, друзья, на сегодня это будет все. Я надеюсь, что вам сегодняшнее видео понравилось. Видите, уже такой закат здесь ложится очень красивый. Мы с вами убедились в том, что достаточно большое количество человек говорит на английском языке. И это такой вот, знаете, бизнес-центр. У меня аж камеру уже сносит ветром, тут очень ветрено, поэтому на сегодня это будет все. Также вам, друзья, напоминаю про разговорный клуб. Пока меня здесь не унесло ветром и мою камеру не унесло, если вы хотите также прокачивать вашу английскую речь и в целом практиковать вашу речь, учить грамматику, тренировать и практиковать словарный запас, то записывайтесь, переходите, и я уверен, вам очень и очень понравится. Все, друзья, на этом будет все. Не забывайте подписываться на данный канал, ставить ваши лайки. И увидимся с вами, друзья, в нашем следующем видео. Пока!